Chally, another workout against a side a couple of divisions higher than Fylde. Would your side have gotten a lot out tonight?
Yeah, listen, we'll definitely physically have got out of it what we need. I'm always going to be disappointed with the goals we can see because they were cheap. And if I'm being critical at the other end, we should have scored. We should have took or could have took chances, which makes the game different. But in terms of first glance, no injuries. Lads have got the minutes they need, and will take us a step closer to where we need to be.
In terms of individual performances, at what stage do you start sitting up and taking notice of people who are trying to grab a shirt?
That started from day one. In terms of attitude, application, that's never been questioned. But ultimately, we have, even with not a full squad complete, we have massive competition. And there'll be, again, decisions to be made around the first game. What we know is that squad-wise, we're gonna need to be used. We're playing 14 games, 15 games in August, September. Then everybody will be required. But fundamentally, you've got to put yourself in the spot and say, you can't play me, and you can do that every day in training. But ultimately, it's about doing it out there on the pitch, and whether that's efficiency in terms of taking your chances, efficiency in terms of creating opportunities, stopping the opposition scoring, defending well, doing your jobs, doing the basics. It's all taken into consideration. We're going to have a tough enough job as it is. You've got to make sure you stand out, and the lads in there have every opportunity to do that every single day. And like I say, at the moment it's tough because they are doing things right in the main. We've got plenty of options, and we ultimately want them to make it as difficult as possible for us.
Obviously, talk about the options you've got in attacking Bevs as well. There seems to be a few. Sheldon Green tonight acquitted himself fairly well in his time on the pitch. How much of a step up is it for him to really get into the side? And
massive, huge step up. I think you only have to look at Toogs for that as an example. That's a player who's just gone to League One, to a team that was just short of the playoffs for a big sum of money, and couldn't hold down a regular place in our team. So that shows where you need to be at. This league is a really tough league. You have to look through the whole of it, and if you name any 18, 19 year olds, I'll be very surprised. It's a league that is in the main full of experienced players, and if lads are in this league and have played a handful of games, they're being snapped up by Championship or Premier League clubs. Again, I suppose Josh Carome is a prime example of that. Leighton Orient going to Huddersfield. So it's a huge step up. This year for Shell will be a year where he develops. He showed that he has an opportunity, he has a chance in the fact how well he did against Ramsbottom in the FA Trophy, and Saturday I thought last half an hour he really affected the game, and today he's gone and done a job and worked hard, which he'll do anyway. But this year will be a big one for him, and he'll only improve because although we will probably look at getting him out to play some games somewhere at a level which will test him, ultimately being around the forward players we've got and learning from them will undoubtedly benefit him massively.
Yeah, obviously the next time we'll be back here against Chally in the National League. Between then and now, is there going to be transfers incoming?
Yeah, absolutely. We're still probably 4 light, maybe. Hopefully, we'll definitely have 2 goalkeepers in. Potentially a utility type midfielder, and then depending where we are with budget, we may bring another forward player in. I don't envisage at the moment anyone going out, but we'll see how things develop. I think things will, I suppose, more even themselves out when the season starts, and when we're having to pick, like I say, squads of 16 and we've got a 20-man squad.
And obviously there's a return to the bench today for Arden Birch. Is that just a case of back in trialling?
No, All's been training. A deal I think at Wrexham fell through and didn't happen. He's been at Cheltenham training. He sent me a message yesterday, and I've always said to all the lads who we let go in the summer that I'll help them as much as they can. So there was an opportunity tonight for him to come and play some minutes. He'll come and train with us because, like I say, you sort of you have to move on and try and strengthen your squad. He's not got himself sorted out yet. We'll help him if we can to get sorted out, but in the meantime we'll try and get him fit and keep him at a level where if something does come about, that he's prepared to be able to do that. But also ultimately, again, as much as everybody else has an opportunity, he's got an opportunity to, I suppose, almost be like the trialist when they come in and say, listen, I'm going to earn a deal here, I'm going to make sure I'm spot on and bang at it, and then we'll see where we go with that.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank you.